Countdown.
Wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears.
Do not
Tune in
disturb.
daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking
see,
risks,
we're gonna
making
pull
moves,
up
seeking
that
success.
one.
Together we'll conquer, no room for any less.
That
Listen
one, that
now.
one, that one.
Every morning I wake up to the sound
Morning, Donovan.
of the trading bell. My heart starts to
Oh, I
pound.
gotta.
Daily stock pick
1
trading
second.
podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and
Now
fears.
I'm gonna go here.
Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up
here.
for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in
Next
my
move, sweet deck to
ears,
his $40 a month plan. Wow. Hoorah.
Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in
that
my
in there.
ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow.
Ask
Taking risks, making
Sidekick.
moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to
Let me
pound.
just
Daily
open
stock
up.
pick
I've got a
trading
big
podcast in my ears,
final
guiding me through my hopes and
reveal
fears.
of
Tune in
what I'm
daily,
gonna
don't
look
miss
at
a single show.
because
Sign up for the newsletter, let
it's
us
the
help you
top
grow.
rated quant
Taking risks,
undervalued
making moves, seeking
stocks.
success. Together we'll conquer, no room
Large
for
cap
any
stocks.
less.
I mean, it fits
Listen
right
now.
into my narrative of
Every morning
large
I wake
cap
up to
tech,
the sound
what
of the
I'm looking
trading
at,
bell. My heart starts
things
to
of that
pound.
sort.
Daily stock
So let me
pick
open up
trading
these.
podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help
There
you
was
grow.
another one that I was
Taking
gonna put
risks,
in
making
here,
moves,
too.
seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading
Micron.
bell. My heart
We're gonna
starts
go
to
over
pound.
Micron.
Daily stock pick
Pretty
trading
deep.
podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears.
Say we're gonna go over Google
Tune
pretty
in
deep.
daily, don't miss a single show.
Yeah, I can
Sign up for
go back to the scene here. We're gonna go over Google and Micron because that's kind of what's hitting my portfolio. I was heavy into Micron. I still am heavy into Micron. I have not sold a share. I did trim at like 450 right before earnings, I believe it was. And it's going to be a long show. It's going to be a big show because it's Friday. So this one kind of lasts throughout the weekend. It gets a lot of listens. And I've got a lot. I've been doing a lot of work with Sidekick. If you don't have Sidekick, good God, you are missing out. Yeah, this one, I'm going to go down to the gold miners. Taco, Danger 10 years, private credit, crypto, all of that stuff. Top oil stocks. Let me see. Other stocks. Can I find? Yeah. Other stocks. There we go. we'll keep that up. Morning, Camillo, Wendy, Harold, Micron morning. Yeah. Morning, Jennifer, Jersey. I mean, you know, I've got to open up other stuff. We're going to open up a Reddit post. I don't know if a lot of people know that I'm on Reddit, but I am on Reddit. And we're going to show you things that I've been right about. Hopefully they still hold up. I mean, I did it, I think, yesterday or maybe even Wednesday. So there we go. That's everything. The market is looking kind of mixed at best. I mean, let's be honest. Meta at 541. I didn't think it was going down that low. I thought it was a gift to get it at 549. This is just crazy. I mean, that's just nuts. Nvidia at 171. I think I bought at 179. But this is a gift. Palo Alto, this is an interesting one. I don't know that it gets to 200 anytime soon. I mean, it continues. QQQ at 569. I mean, we've broken that 585 that we had. It's broken the trend line. You don't have any confirmation. I bought a little bit when we had some confirmation right there at about 590 or so. I think it was like $40,000, $50,000, somewhere in that neighborhood. But that's a 5-year plan. I mean, that's I should say 1 to 5 year plan. So, but yeah, I've got everything up and running. All my stuff opened up. I went heavy on Sidekick today, so you're gonna get the benefit of a deep research. The final 10 stocks. What is it? It is this one. Top quant rated undervalued large cap stocks with high growth rates. Boom. We went into Sidekick and we did some deep research into all 10. So, and I say we, it was me. But I'll share it. I'll share everything. Oh, and by the way, just so you're aware, I made myself, if I go over here, today's kind of thumbnail is about oil because the whole market is kind of hung up on oil. And so I made myself a landman. Anybody that watches Landman with Billy Bob Thornton, you kind of know. Yeah, I made myself Landman. So it's a good show. It is a good show. But that's the thumbnail. I think, what did I... Yeah, let's go to Canva and I'll show you the actual thumbnail that's going to go up because it is pretty good. When will the stock market go back up? It's all about the price of oil right behind my head. So that's it. And I did move myself. What's interesting is it didn't grab the hat. So I kind of have a see-through hat right there. Which, little Easter egg. I put them in there every now and then. Okay, I'm going to hit record. We're going to get started. I don't think that there's updated news. Let me see. I did get 10 out of 10 on the Seeking Alpha quiz, just so you know. 10, 0. You can take that and see if you're up to date. Micron under pressure. Netflix hiking subscriptions. MetaBoost, Texas AI. Oh, don't have that. Target faces boycott over response to ICE crackdown in Minneapolis. I mean, what else is new? Fuckers just... Let's see. I don't care about buybacks. No. I mean... On the move. Morning, Cam. Oh, cyclone. Wow. In Australia. I don't think there's anything. Boeing wins from U.S. Army drone contract and Boeing's down 2%. Why is Boeing down 2%? I mean, good God. This stock can't catch a bid. Wall Street, have they taken their target down? No, they're taking their target up. Good God. That at some point, I mean, at some point, triple threat global economic softening, Middle East regional risk, potential supply chain disruptions, high oil prices threaten economic growth, Middle Eastern carriers account for a significant portion of 777. Oh, making these problems. Larry. God, I mean, I literally could sit here and read all of this. Should I put this? You know what? This is probably a good article to put. Let's see. We'll put it down in the Apple section. We'll put that one down there. And then we're going to open it up. And we'll put it, I think it's going to go there. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I mean, just the market data alone that we could look at, key market data. Look at the year to date. None of these are up. You got your mid caps, small caps, and micro caps that are up. 1 year, you're still S&P 13% on 1 year is really good still. So if you bought in March of last year, right before Liberation Day, you did well. I mean, 24% on XLK. You're just, again, if you're heavy into tech, you are getting killed. If you're heavy into financials, you're getting killed year to date. If you're heavy into consumer discretionary, you're getting killed. Communication services, energy, but even basic materials up 8% year to date. I mean, the S&P is up on average 10%. So, Cam, Boeing, I mean, in my mind, Boeing, I think it's still a turnaround story. It's just, they bring up good points. Is it going to weaken? Good God, look at this. 3 years, okay? 3 years year to date. Communication service. In 3 years, you've almost doubled. Technology, you've almost doubled. Industrials, 66%. I mean, consumer staples are horrible. Real estate, horrible. Healthcare, horrible. Basic materials, 3 years and you're only up 27%. Utilities, you're up 38%. Now, consumer discretionary, you get into there. 53% over 3 years. Again, if you double in 7 years, that's kind of the average of the S&P. So doing 92% in 3 years is still freaking amazing. And look at the 52-week range of this ETF. I mean, there are definitely some buying opportunities here. If you go to bonds, bonds. Look at the 10-year. The 10-year is at 4.5 almost. Its 52-week range is up to 4.63. That's why we're going down, because they're pricing in a recession. Same as last year. So, okay, let me go and start the podcast. Good morning. Happy Friday, March 27th. A lot to go over, including, stay around till the end. There's an article, large cap stocks that are undervalued in the market with high growth. I mean, it just hits perfectly with my specific like. And what I did was I took it into Sidekick and I said, rate these and give me an idea of where I should buy them. And Sidekick performed. But we're going to go over the war. We're going to go over specific stocks. We're going to go over sectors. We're going to go over the Mag 7. I'm going to go over all of this stuff so you can see. And yes, Micron will be a major focus. We can go and look at this stuff because all of this stuff, in my mind, it's all giving you gifts. Not like, oh my God, this is once in a lifetime. These are just long-term looks at these things that buy. And in my mind, again, if you didn't sell at the top in January and February, like I was saying, trim some stocks, trim some stocks, trim some stocks. In some of these stocks, it's just too late to trim in my mind. It's just too late, and you want to be looking at adding some dollars to these. And if you don't have any dollars because you're 100% invested, sit and wait. Peter Lynch, I brought it up on Wednesday. Peter Lynch has said every now and then the market pulls back and you can go. Let's look at a chart. Charts tell you the story. We have broken that 585 on QQQ. Here in pre-market, you're at 570. So you've broken down. Is that a reason to just jump? No. Look at the trend line, that green trend line that I've been pointing out forever. The last time you had the opportunity to buy down below that green trend line was Liberation Day. Trump is playing this market exactly like last year. And you've got to trust that it will come back. Okay? And this weekly chart, again, it points out exactly. We're only 2 weeks into this. You know, it was 3 or 4 weeks until you turned around. The 9-day is moving. I like to use the 9-day as confirmation. The 200-day and the 50-day are still, or 50-week, they're still moving positive. And this indicators do seem stretched on this weekly chart. Started back in October when we hit those highs. They seem extended. What happened the last time we hit up at that level? You saw Liberation Day. Things were just extended. So again, you've got to decide. Are you a long-term investor or a short-term investor? Panic reaction selling is not a strategy. You've got to know what you're doing. So I want to give you a war update because that's what's basically bringing us down. The gift of 10 boats. Now, Trump was asked, you know, what was the gift? Yesterday he was asked, what was the gift that Iran gave you? And he said, hey, we got 10 oil boats through. It's very expensive. You know, that's billions of dollars worth. So we've got that as, yes, they are talking to the right people. The memes of Trump talking to himself. No, he's not talking to himself. They are talking to people who are in power. Now, will those people be killed? Will they be, there an uprising in Iran? We don't know, but they are talking to the right people. That's good news. And that's why you saw a little spike in the market yesterday when Besson said, hey, we're seeing stuff move out of the Gulf, out of the Straits of Hormuz, and it should get better. It's the taco trade. So what else do we have? We have the May-China meeting, okay? Remember, he put off the meeting with Xi in order to, because we were at war. This is later in May. He doesn't expect to be at war later in May. 4 to 6 weeks. We just hit the 4-week mark, so we're probably going a couple more weeks. Again, Bassett said ships are moving in the Gulf. And if you look at oil futures, and you can just Google this. I did not look this up, so I'm not going to show it. But September oil futures are pricing oil at $80. If we go to market data and we go to commodities and we look at energy and we look at oil, where is it right now? $120. And Trump has said he expected it to go up higher, which moved it higher today and yesterday. This is the USO. You can do UCO, which is triple leverage. You can do SCO, which is triple leverage on the downside, but it will come down. It's just a matter of when. And yes, growth in the economy. The GDP is going to be slowed down by this. That's why you're seeing stocks go down. But what's the good news? Well, if you go and look at SPY, okay, SPY right now is at 641. Look at the 52-week range. We were at 697. The S&P was trading at 23 times forward earnings. So not only did we have great earnings this past earnings period, which, by the way, starts again in 3 weeks, but we had great earnings. It was trading at 23. It likes to be around 20 or 21, okay? We're now at 19 times forward earnings on the S&P. So if you just look up SPY and you were to draw a trend line on SPY, on a weekly, like we did with that, you'll see you're below that trend line, and thinking about the opportunity to buy it at a discount, like Peter Lynch says, that's the way you play this game. It's long-term. This is not a 5K. And if you've identified trades like we will go over with VCX, then you've got to understand that those should have been gotten out if you're losing. Do not water weeds. Cut them. Water your grass. Water your good ones. And right now, the only ones that are good, if you go and look at the actual sectors, if we go and look at market data here, and we were to look at key market data, the only ones that are good year to date, energy, basic materials, utilities, more than half of these sectors are negative. And earnings are growing. All of this adds up to be a good market to buy into historically. The next earnings season starts in just a few weeks with the banks, and you can go over to Earnings Hub and take a look at the next few weeks. You know, again, April 6th to 10th, March 30th to April 1st. You can see there's not a lot. Then you go to April 6th to April 10th. Then you go out here and you start to get the banks on Monday the 13th. So again, you'll see probably exactly like last year. So what we saw during the earnings last year, what did you see? Did you journal it? Because I did. And what we saw was the forecasts being kind of negative and saying, well, we know the earnings were good. We know that tariffs are getting settled. We can't forecast because of the uncertainty. You're going to see the same thing. CEOs are probably going to say we can't forecast because there's a little bit of uncertainty in the market. We're coming off of 3 years. If we just go to a yearly chart here on SPY and you were to look at this, you are coming off of 2023 up 23%. You are coming off of 2024 at 24%. You are coming off at 2025 at 15%. Those are historically huge. Look at the last time we saw 3 enormous moves, 11% in 2012, 27% in 2013, and then 2014 up 11%. Then you had 2015 down 1%. Okay, 3 more. You had 2019 up 30%. You had 2020 with COVID that wound up 15% up. You had 2021 up 26%. Then you had 2022 at 19%. You may even expect the Fed to start raising rates, okay? But Trump is halting his attacks on Iran energy. Again, taco trade. He's loading all of this up so that it's a buying opportunity. But you've seen every time he said, hey, we're lowering the tension level, the market has gone up. Don't get caught off sides. Understand and find your buying pattern. Mine right now is below that trend line. And I drew that trend line in Trendspider months ago. And I said, if we get to that trend line, I'm going to buy. Why? Because I saw it during last year. I don't think I had this in 2023, but I did have it in 2024. And so that trend line has been up there for a very long time. And what's the key to the market? We talk about the 10-year bond. We talk about the VIX. We talk about it. It's oil. Crude oil edges lower as Trump extends the pause on energy. But it's going back up. It is an uncertainty in the market. So I'm just buying for the long term. Anything that I buy now, it's not for the next month or two. I am not trading stocks right now. I am looking to position myself. You've got to understand, every 2008, every 2000, all of that, those types of big moves down, even COVID, I was repositioning myself. I wasn't getting out. I was taking some of my winners and some of the opportunities and saying, well, this one may actually perform better. So I want to move it into there. I bought some NVIDIA. Now the 10-year bond, if we go and look at the 10-year bond, it has spiked. US 10-year right there. It's at 4.46. The 52-week high is 4.63. That's a big move from just about 4. What, 10 days ago? 1 month ago? 4.14 3 months ago? 4.18? That's a historically big move. But I have touted some wins here on this podcast, okay? I said trim at all-time highs, cut your ETFs, buy them back even 1 or 2% lower. Said that in January and February. Sell Apple at 280, buy it back lower. Absolutely, 100%. Sell Microsoft at 450. I said it. Buy AAO at $84. What's AAO right now? I mean, let's just go. It's down, but $84, you're getting it $98 here in pre-market. I also said buy SanDisk at 95. You're still over 500 on there. Trim Micron at 450 and buy it back under $400. Micron has crashed. Buy Light at 594. You may have the opportunity again. Buy GLW under 50. That stock's almost $200. I think it's pulled back now. Sell Meta at $700 and buy it back low. You are below $550 right now. Buy Google before it goes over 300. It went over 300. It is now under 300. And listen, Sidekick said before earnings on NVIDIA, sell 50% of your NVIDIA position at 195 and buy it back lower after earnings. I did that. That was all on the podcast. And I'll also make mention that on Wednesday, other stocks I'm looking to add to in the Alpha Picks portfolio are strong buy stocks. Many of these are gold miners. They were all up yesterday. They were up huge. Let's just look at some of them. SSRM, which I brought up before. This one was down 5%. I think Thursday it was up. But again, you're trading at these levels. 5 days, you're up 5%. That's still a very good position. Now, it's moved from a strong buy to a buy. It will move back to a strong buy. This one, Wall Street, thinks it's worth $42, 72% upside. CDE, again, gold is fluctuating around. This was down 10% yesterday. Wall Street thinks it's worth $27. Look at the 52-week range between $4 and $27. Those are just two of them, and this is a strong buy in the quant. Again, I copy and pasted the Seeking Alpha Quant AI explanations in Sidekick and asked to analyze the stock and give me a recommendation. That's the way I'm using these things right now. Literally, it said for CDE, the fundamentals are generally, the fundamentals are genuinely improving. Debt payments, strong free cash flow, rising margins, these are real, but the strong buy narrative has hit a timing problem. The report appears to have been written when the momentum was at peak. Today, the stock is 32% off its highs, and one firm just downgraded, and the forward PE of 8 is an aggressive assumption not backed by trailing 12 months data. The trailing 12 months PE is 24 times. The core business is solid, but you'd be buying into a downward trend from a technical standpoint. Wait for confirmation between $17 and $18 holds as support. And that's CDE. Wait till 17 or 18 turns into support. So that 18, it didn't have confirmation. I didn't buy it. You're down at 16. I'm getting a gift. The next time I'm going to buy this is when 18 actually gets to be a support level, when it goes up and then pulls back into support. That's when I'm going to know that I can buy. Another few examples of Sidekick killing it. We're going to look at Sterling. Okay, Sterling Infrastructure, STRL, another alpha pick. Pre-earnings, it said using the tool, it's returned 632% in alpha picks. Alpha picks, a great portfolio. Sterling, one of the winners. You can see it's up 1 year, 231%. Yes, it was down 8%. It's a strong buy in the quant, strong buy. And when earnings were around the corner, it told me to wait to buy until it pulls back 10%. It did. The 4-hour algorithm, we can go and look at STRL. The 4-hour algorithm has you in at, let's see, around 416. You're trading at 411. You don't really have confirmation. It's been going up and down, up and down. But I'm back in this position. Why? Because Sidekick told me that that 409 in that pullback would be an opportunity. And yes, it may even go below that 409. But I have another position marked at 374. So I'll trade this one. Plus on Wednesday in this same newsletter, I said, I did a comparison. I said, hey, here's an article where it gives me, and I forget where it is, but it gave me an article. Here it is. No, 5 energy stop, tuck 10 positions. Basically, it was an article where Sidekick picked out Sprouts Farmers Market as the top pick. And I said, you know, hey, maybe Sprouts Farmers Market isn't the top pick. And it picked out Netflix as the next, as number 2. And I said, I'd rather buy Netflix than Sprouts Farmers Market. Netflix actually wound up announcing yesterday they're hiking subscription plans. It was up 1% yesterday. It's up 1% today. So it's, again, using the tools that you have to try and find opportunities. This one, I haven't added back into this one. I really want to. But with the uncertainty in the market, this is one, I don't know if it's recession proof because they continue to raise rates. Now they'll make a ton of money. I'm not deleting my Netflix. But you know, the Mag 7, just so you know, all Mag 7 stocks are in double-digit drawdowns. I bought back NVIDIA. I sold it at 195. I bought it back at about 180. And NVIDIA is now below this. Am I worried? No. Fundamentally, this is still a very, very good stock. And even if it dips below that 168 level, I'm fine with it. I didn't buy my entire position back because I didn't have confirmation. I just said, you know what? At that 176 with the 4-hour algorithm, I think I'm going to add to this one. Because again, bear market territory is 20% down. And look at these stocks. NVIDIA is 13%. If that gets into bear market territory and these hyperscalers continue to actually do it, yeah, they're going to continue to spend. I also own AMD, and AMD was up way big, and it started to pull back again. Under $200, I like this one. I haven't added to this one. I think NVIDIA at some point moves past that market cap restriction, and 200 becomes the support. I'm investing for the long term. Now, AMD, Intel, they led the stock hardest, but it gave it all, most of it back. It was up 7%. Again, in pre-market, you're around $200. Long term, I think AMD is very well suited for that $200 mark. It's a strong buy in the quant. This is a very good company. And yes, they will start making inroads onto NVIDIA at some point. I still think that this one outperforms NVIDIA. Now, Meta is the biggest shock to me right now. Meta promises a hefty payout to top. I don't know why this is getting content error, but Meta promises hefty payout to top brass if market cap exceeds $9 trillion. That's a bullish move on a stock that is currently $1.5 billion. Or I'm sorry, 1.4 trillion. They've lost so much money. Okay, this 52-week range between 479 and 796, that is a fantastic entry. Because again, they're going to incent their executives on market cap. They're not going to do buybacks. They're not going to do dividends. They are incentivizing their execs on market cap. And when you look at the chart of this stock, you wouldn't buy it now. Why? Because it's still in a downward spiral. You don't want that. You don't want to buy it here at 625 and see it go down to 521 unless it's long term. If you're buying at 539, then you are buying a stock for a very long time, not short term. And you're not going to worry if it goes down to $500 from 550. That's just the mindset that you had to have. They had over $200 billion in revenue, growing 22% year over year. They are projecting slower growth, but clearly management sees this growing much faster. So I went in and I asked Sidekick, let's see. Let's look up Meta because I did do there we go. Meta valuation and buy zones. I did this, let's see, this was March 25th, so it was Wednesday. And I said, where are the buy zones here? And it gave me key recent analysis. By the way, I asked it to do a Wall Street style. I want to buy it under $600. Can you give me a Wall Street style analysis of the stock? This is what I did, and this is what Sidekick came up. It said key recent catalyst, multi-year NVIDIA partnership for the AI infrastructure, $12 billion Nebius deal, AMD multi-year GPU, ARM, AGI CPU launch, AI shopping. Bill Ackman initiated a $2.7 million share purchase, which is usually the kiss of death. AI model avocado delayed, planned layoffs. Then they bring in all of this other stuff. Russia blocked WhatsApp, EU social media restrictions, social media attraction, blah, blah, blah. And then it gives you the buy zones, specific zones to watch right now, 2026, 570 to 620. It's 20 times trailing 12 months PE. At or below current level. Deep dive. 500 to 530, that's the 2025 low support. 17 times trailing 12 months earnings would be a fear buying territory. 2026, 2027 pullback. Okay, 650 to 700. If stock rallies to $800 and pulls back, that's the one. 2027, 2028. It gives you all of these zones. Key risks to monitor. The CapEx explosion. We just got news today that they are actually spending more money. It's not good. They're going down. But again, go back to your buy zone. If you want this right now, and it's between 500 and 530, Sidekick is saying buy it. Bottom line, your instinct to buy a Meta under $600 is well grounded in fundamentals at 20 times trailing 12 months earnings with 23% revenue growth and 41% operating margin. You're getting one of the best businesses in the world at a discount to its recent trading range. The analyst community agrees with average price target over $860. The $9 trillion executive comp plan is more of a signal than a guarantee, but the incentive alignment is now explicit at the C-level suite. The floor thesis is the ad business. The ceiling thesis is AI. Both are tracking in the right direction, even with the CapEx headwind. Again, use the tools that you have in front of you. And I'm using Seeking Alpha. Why is this doing this? Content error. Let me see. Okay, there we got it. Google reveals algorithms to address AI memory challenges. This took the memory market down. Okay, and I did a Sidekick look. We're going to look at MU. I did a Sidekick look at Micron on Tuesday's office hours, okay? This was Tuesday's office hours. This was, let's say, 8:28, yeah. Micron Wall Street style analysis. It did all of this. It basically told me buy zones. Aggressive, active. It told me not to buy it right now. It said active or aggressive, 340 to 370. Where you're trading right now? Let's look at Micron. I have Meta up. We'll look at Micron. We'll go back there. Micron right now is trading at 353. Just so we know. We'll pull up Micron. And we'll go back down to the 340 to 370. You're in that range. Current post-earnings sell-off, former January, February 2026 base, 20% pullback from all-time highs, forward PE of 4 times. Value patience, 300 to 340. You got there yesterday. December 2025 accumulation zone, forward PE of 7 to 8 on Q3 run rate. Significant institutional accumulation occurred here. High conviction, under $300, November 2025 breakout levels. So literally, Sidekick saved me thousands and thousands of dollars. Again, this is all in Trendspider. Trendspider is the golden goose that pays for itself for me because it saved me thousands of dollars. Micron is in the middle of what may be its most powerful earnings cycle in company history, driven by AI memory demand that management says will outstrip supply for years. For years. The financial transformation is real and backed by hard numbers. Gross margins is 74%, net margin is 58%, free cash flow $10.3 billion in a single quarter. The primary risks are structural cyclical memory can crater fast. AI efficiency headwinds with the turbo quan and the sheer capital intensity of growth plans at current levels near 355, the forward earnings multiple is arguably the most compelling it has been since the AI cycle began. Most of this, the most interesting pullbacks in large cap semiconductors, but investors must accept the cyclical risk premium that has been defined. And yes, I'm willing to take that risk. Absolutely, I'm willing to take that risk. This is just a 4-hour algorithm. Again, 4-hour algorithm got you in at 410. Am I happy about getting in at 410? No, but I did. And now, you know, Google, this thing, the person that I follow, Trade Whisperer, they're all saying this has nothing to do with it. Even Hamid, he's saying this has nothing to do with it. This thing is just pure noise. That's all it is. Oh, let me see. Google is killing it, by the way. And if you want Google, buy Google under 300. It's at 280. They're releasing more and more models. And I like this one. Micron under pressure after 23% AI slide. Okay? This is the key quote in this article. Later in the day, Trump said in a Fox News interview that he had recently met with Micron CEO Sanjay Maratha and described the company as one of the hottest in the US. Again, he loves it. Then you talk about this, 3 winners from Micron's huge CapEx guide. And Udom is telling you LRCX, AMAT, and KLAC. Those are the 3 benefiting, and they're all pulling back. And then in Tuesday's office hours, again, Tuesday's office hours, it's great. It's live on Substack. Mike asked me about VCX. Now, this is crazy. This is a stock that yesterday was trading somewhere close to $600. Anybody that listens to this podcast knows. And Mike asked me, are you buying VCX? And just full disclosure, I said no. And the reason was because I'm not a big fan of IPOs. Now, when you look at VCX, we'll pull up this chart because that chart doesn't do it justice. We're going to pull up a 5-minute chart here, and we're going to even look at after hours. And the 4-hour algorithm doesn't have any buys in here. It's just not a long enough because, again, it IPO'd what? On, let's see, March 19th. You could have gotten it for $120. Once it gained confirmation right away, it was at 90. And this looked fantastic. And you had the ability to buy into this one if you believed that this was a great stock. But it's an IPO. It's an IPO. So understand, if you bought into this thinking you're getting Anthropic, thinking you're getting SpaceX, thinking you're getting all of those, this actual stock, the fund, owns $19 of those big names. Anthropic, OpenAI, SpaceX, Databricks, Anduril. It owns $19. And even IPOing at $30, it's putting a huge multiple on those stocks that they bought into. It's saying we're going to double, we're going to triple. Trading at $600 puts it at an insane price, an absolutely insane price. And you're seeing it now. Citrani Research, they actually shorted this one. Okay? It's sinking after its short call. But this isn't shocking. If you are an investor, this was not an investment. This was a trade. Identify them before you buy because that will save you a bunch of money. Again, this one I had no interest in because it's an IPO. I want it to settle and I will gladly miss out on it. And there are plenty of trades like this in the market. Ugrow was up 416%. Let's go and look at Ugrow. Did this one continue? Because the only reason this one went up was because they got their NASDAQ listing back. That's it. And it shot up 400%. In 5 days, you're still up 652%. There are stocks like this all over the place. Don't get caught short because it's not an investment. This is clearly a trade. And if you want a discount on SpaceX rather than VCX, Go and buy ASTS. SpaceX is going to IPO at $1.5 trillion. ASTS and Rocket Labs, significantly less. We can go and look at ASTS. What's their market cap? They are at $33 billion. You know, it's the same business. It's basically putting satellites up. You know, but SpaceX, it's got the Elon Musk name. It's got some other stuff in it because it's more of an AI play. But even if you were to look at Rocket Lab, RKLB, this one is the closest to SpaceX, and it's a $37 billion market cap. Now, this one's super, super similar to SpaceX. Is it going to be the same thing? No. But honestly, if you're looking at that space, you're looking at risky and high beta stocks. So I want to bring up, someone just dropped over $1 million on outside the money options calls on Tesla expiring in 23 days. These contracts are worth 54 cents and are down 99% on the year. With a strike price at $4.70, Tesla would need to move 20% to be in the money. Now, this may be very simply a safety position. You know, this may be hedging, but it identifies, hey, Trendspider has options data in there and it can help you guide it. And I brought that up before. You can see the moves on this one. You know, if you install the options data flow on here, this would be a huge highlight. Now, is Tesla going to move 20%? Not in this market, not without some type of crazy news. You can see we've been down from 480, 490, all the way down to 372. It's trading at 369. That would be an enormous move. This is something that probably is just protection. So again, go and ask Trendspider about it. Here, a great list of photonic stocks. Here's how you set up your watch list. Go and set it up in Seeking Alpha. Set up a portfolio. This is why I always suggest that you get the bundle. The bundle, let me sign out of this real quick. By the way, I am sorry, but for some reason it reset. Here's the bundle price, $639. You save $159. What do you get? You get Seeking Alpha Premium, which, by the way, I've got to log back in now. Let's log back in. So you get the quant, where you can see the quant level. You can see the Wall Street. It's all in one place. That's Seeking Alpha Premium. Oh, and it's logging in for some reason. What's Alpha Picks? Alpha Picks is a data-driven portfolio that gives you one stock on the first. We're going to get one next week and one on the 15th. We just had one that it was up huge. And yes, it's a photonics play. And it was up huge. I think I'm still up huge on that one since it was purchased. But you know my largest position, it's Apple. So Apple had Sirius Logic, which popped 3% yesterday. And Q, which is what? Quinty Electronics, which actually dropped 6% yesterday. I didn't know anything about it. It's not covered by the quant. It's just, you know, one of those small ones. Because they're bringing back American manufacturing. What are they doing? They're basically, you know, Tim Cook is playing the dance. He's saying, hey, we're bringing stuff back to America, Mr. Trump. And it's super, super small. Set to spend $400 million. If you go over to Apple's financials, they make $435 billion in a year. What's $400 million? That's like, you know, you buying lunch in the afternoon. And Dan Ives is saying, hey, Apple, probably one of the best investments out there in the Mag 7. The firm has an outperform rating with a $350 to price target. It's trading at $252 right now. I've said this, anything between that below that 260, it's a buy zone. It's not a sell zone. And so I went in and I said, hey, Sidekick, can you do a Wall Street style analysis of Apple? Give me a 1 month, 6 month, 1 year, and 5 year outlook. So recent price action peaked at 288 in December. I said sell over 280. It has been in a controlled pullback since. The stock dumped hard in early February on earnings volatility, continued lower in March, took 246 as a recent low on March 20th. 246. The current week is showing a recovery bounce off these lows. The price at 252. On your weekly chart, showing between the 9 EMA and 21, which is critical zone. The 50-week SMA is well below current price at the $200 area, providing long-term support. The 200-week SMA, red, is even lower. This is structurally healthy chart on the macro side. MACD, bearish crossover in play. Histogram has been printing red for several weeks. The MACD line crossed below the signal. RSI trending lower towards the 50 zone. Not oversold. This means there's still room to fall before hitting a technical oversold reading. Bollinger Bands, prices compressing towards the middle lower Bollinger Bands after the recent squeeze breakdown from the upper band. So you can see the support levels, 247, 250, 239, 240, 225. This would be a major consolidation zone. And yes, even though I have hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of shares, I would still go in and buy this if this goes back down to that 225. Risk reward. This is one of the best risk rewards in the market. Apple is fundamentally strong. No concern here. Key news and catalyst, bullish. MacBook Neo, iPhone 17e, iPad. It's all. Gene Munster named Apple a top pick for the next decade of AI innovation. Why? Because they have 2 billion users who aren't getting rid of their devices. And if they just get it even semi-right on Siri, it doesn't have to be the best damn model. It just has to be decent. Because again, if anybody launches anything in iOS, Apple takes 30% of those. Bearish factors. China, we've seen this factor before. Barclays maintains underweight. Their price target 248. Rising memory prices. This could be a risk. Representative Thomas Suso sold 215,000. Again, Trendspider has government data. If you want it, all their buys and sells. Overwhelming bullish consensus. You can look at the options trade. You can look at the outlooks, buy the dip or stay away. Now, this is the key point. This is what you want to know. This is not direct trading advice. The dip from 288 to 246, 14% is meaningful, but not extreme for Apple. The 247 to 250 zone is the immediate decision point. This week's low was 246 and it's bouncing. That's your line in the sand. Weekly MACD is negative. RSI hasn't been washed out. A breakout below 240 would invalidate the near-term bull case and open 225 at the next support level. Analyst consensus gives you a $315 average price target, with one bear at 248. The risk reward on a longer time horizon leans bullish, but the weekly chart says near-term caution is warranted, entering in tranches between 247 and 252 with a hard risk level set at 240 is how the data lines up. It literally says this isn't trading advice, but here's the trading advice. Again, Trendspider Sidekick. You can get it up to 32% off with my link. It is so good. And how do I use this? Well, here you go. This is right in my wheelhouse. This is what I promised at the beginning. The top quant rated, undervalued large cap stocks with high growth grades. Again, high growth. Okay? The names are specifically filtered for their standout A grades in those key factors, offering potential bargains even as broader indexes whipsaw. SanDisk, Micron, Southwest Airlines, DaVita, Jones Long LaSalle, Antero Resources, Centene, Insight, Ally Financial. I'm going to go and use the tools that I have in front of me. And I went in, I used Seeking Alpha's quant system. This is Trendspider Sidekick again, that have fundamentals that are comparatively good to other companies in that sector. They just published their top quant rated, undervalued large cap stocks. Here's the list. Please do a complete Wall Street analysis of these stocks. Boom. Here's the complete Wall Street analysis for the 9 names with buy zones derived from technicals, valuation multiples, and earnings trajectory. And here you go, SanDisk. Current price 609, buy zone 526 to 574. The deep value is 454 to 480. Let's see, what's this trading at? SanDisk is at 598. So you want to wait for it. I'd say, hey, get it under $600 because we don't know when this war is going to turn. Micron, 340 to 370, historically beat cycle HBM, Primary risk, NAND cyclicality, SK Hynix competition, and $25 billion CapEx spend. Micron, they're trading right now at 358. This is in current active zone, not value. It hit value yesterday. Love, this is saying buy it between 33 and 38. Love is at $39. Wait for it to come down. But again, transformation, assigned seats, OTA distribution, demand strong. Oil over $100 is an issue. DVA, I don't even know what DVA does, but they're saying buy it. Again, between 143 and 152, it's at 156. This literally gives you the buy zones. Here's the key observations. Micron, arguably the most data-backed story. Historic earnings acceleration, 14 buy, 0 sell, and currently sitting right at the upper edge of the buy zone after a sell the news overreaction. The 340 to 370 range is live. Ally, clean technicals, 4 straight beats, near unanimous buy ratings, and trading right inside the buy zone at 39. Insight, debt-free, 92% gross margins, trading at the top of the buy zone. FYI, this is an alpha pick. Highest risk, needs patience. SanDisk, extraordinary growth, but still 10 to 15% above the buy zone. Needed to pull back. CNC, a genuine turnaround situation, not a quality compounder. Do not confuse the low P/B for safety. The margin destruction has been 8 running quarters. AR at 52-week highs. After a 53% rally, the buy zone is 15% lower. Don't chase it. And AR, by the way, their buy zone is 38 to 41. It's trading at 44. One flag worth noting. Several of these lower rated SA quant names, CNC, AR, Insight, Ally, have quant ratings below 3.5, which by Seeking Alpha's own definition is not a bullish rating. Factor that into your position sizing. Again, it went into this article and it said, which ones should I buy? SanDisk, Micron, and Southwest. It's saying Micron is the best opportunity out there. So I like it. Use the tools that you have. The tools that I have, very simple. It is, let me sign out again just to show you the tools that I have. It is Premium and Alpha Picks right here. Okay? Right there. That's the bundle. It is the top link, which takes you to Trendspider. Then if you don't want the Alpha Picks bundle, you can get Alpha Picks by itself. Again, 274% versus 70% on the S&P. And if you just want Seeking Alpha Premium, get a free 7-day trial. That's the link right there. And by the way, I don't bring this up enough, but the Pro, again, for 5-10% of the listeners out there, Pro is great, and you can try it for $89 for the first month. Yes, it's expensive, but it gets you a lot of benefits. Go and test it out. So if you have any questions, even my email address is up here. All of the socials are up here. You can get Instagram, Facebook, Reddit, all of the Spotfiy episodes. Everything is up there. If you have any questions, again, email me. And remember, patience is going to pay off. It's just a matter of understanding. If you are too scared with a 6% pullback, because if we go back and we look, I'm going to log in real quick again, just to show you. Oh, sign in with Google. Let's do that one. We're going to go back to the market data, and we're going to go to key market data, and we're going to go year to date. Okay. The NASDAQ is down 6%. The S&P is down 5%. We're not even in actual correction territory, which would be, I think 5% is correction, 10% is correction. That's not a bad thing. But if you're invested in technology, that's where you're going to be hurt the most. And yes, I'm getting hurt. But I'm very consistent in the fact that here on QQQ, I like this trend line. I have liked this trend line forever. And that trend line is my guide. So yes, I will be adding. And will I be adding even if it goes down on specifics? Yes. Not everything. And I don't have like $90 million stocks. You know, it's a very concise portfolio. It's focused on the Mag 7. So yes, I am down. If we look at the Mag 7 and we just look at this, I think this includes Let's see, valuation, my view. Year-to-date performance right here. There's not one in the green. Netflix is the closest at 0.47 because this does include Broadcom and Netflix, so it's not really the Mag 7. It's a little bit. But Microsoft's the worst performer at 360. That's like a top 3 holding for me. Meta, top 10 holding for me, I think. It's not that big because I trimmed it 700. I didn't trim enough Microsoft at 450. I didn't trim enough Meta at 650, 700. I didn't trim enough Google at 300. I didn't trim enough Amazon at 240. I didn't trim enough. I did sell 50% of my position. So it should have been more. Should have been the whole thing. And I didn't trim Apple enough at 280. So again, I'm sitting there. It is too late for me to sell, in my opinion. Do we have more downside? We could. It is the price of oil that's going to drive this market, and it is that war, and we've got a weekend. So sit on your hands. Sit on your hands. Find opportunities, but sit on your hands. That's it. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Oh, morning, Seth. Oh, Eli. Vince. Danelle. Dell's a good one in the quant. SpaceX, I don't think they're, I mean, let's see, morning breakfast. I think I follow morning breakfast. Morning breakfast. There we go. I don't think they're not going to do it in the next week, but they could. What they're talking about is SpaceX could back into an IPO by merging with Tesla. And so they'd probably change the symbol, but that would take months. So it wouldn't be something in the next week that I would expect. Now, am I an expert on this stuff? Probably not. But Dell is high in the quant system. You know, I have traded Dell. I haven't owned Dell. And I don't currently own Dell. For me, there was better opportunities in the market. So I won't own everything. I'll own some things. But yeah, there's a ton of information in today's podcast. Let me get this up here. And oh, come on. Scroll back there. Damn it. Copy. It's a long podcast, 48 minutes. After I go 30 minutes, I'm like, I think most people, I would tune out, but next, I'm going to look like an Oompa Loompa today. That's a leveraged ETF. So, I mean, MUU is a leveraged ETF and it's leveraged on a daily basis. It's not leveraged on a ongoing basis. So every day, MUU is down, it's up 1.21%. So Micron's probably up 0.5. It's a leveraged ETF. And if you're going back and looking, it just doesn't have a lot of moving averages on a weekly, and that is incredibly extended. So, Roberts, I would probably, for me, I haven't used these leveraged ETFs on single stocks in a while. It hasn't fit my risk profile. And so MUU right now, for me, if you were asking me, hey, should I invest in MUU? The Bollinger Band's just cinched up. You're seeing it down on the below the 9-day. You're seeing the MACD super low. You're seeing the RSI at 32. Could it pop? It could. But for me, I think there's a lower price that could be met on this one. And these don't, I haven't found that the horizontal lines that I typically use revert back, because again, it's on a daily basis. So I've been less likely to kind of use these because they are new. I'm not a big leverage guy, so I'd rather buy Micron. Perfectly honest with you, I'd rather buy Micron and sit and wait. But that's me. Again, if you're in this for a week, 2 weeks, and you're looking for a trade, that would be where I would go. I mean, double leveraged ETF is where I would go for some of these beaten down stocks. I've got a list here. Let's see. We've got, where's the leveraged ETFs list? You've got the Apple Bear, which is good. You got the Apple Bull. You've got the double leveraged Apple daily. Amazon, you've got daily. Amazon up. We've got AVGO 2 times long. We've got BABA, which has been, I've traded that one, I think, a while ago. BAR, which is the gold trust. This is, I forget what that one is. BERZ, which is FANG Innovation, 3 times inverse leveraged. So this one, buying at 58, let's see. Buying at $58 on March 13th. Fantastic. You're at $73. Today, you're up 3.5%. BITX, which is the Bitcoin ETF, 2 times Bitcoin, falling. If you might, the short one, 2 times long on Bitcoin. Here's the inverse, 2 times on Bitcoin. It's up 6.1% today. That's been a good one. BULZ, 3 times leveraged on FANG. That one's horrible. Comb, commodity strategy. You got Coinbase, 2 times short, two times long. Then you got, Circle, Ultra Circle. This one was a good one. This one was a fantastic play. Right here, buying at February 9th. I mean, shit. And then I would have sold it at 85. The 4-hour algorithm waited, but you still made 152%. Yeah. Roberts, I'm not good at that leverage. So, I'm a good trader, not a great trader. I'm a better investor, and you kind of lean into your strength. And so MUU for me, if I were using MUU, I'd probably be on a 5-minute time frame, and I'd probably find something like even the 65-minute algorithm on this one. Let's see. This one works great. I mean, look, it saved you from this. It saved you from, that huge downturn. It got you out before it, it cratered. So I would be using like a 65-minute algorithm, something like that. And you look at it, am I upset that I didn't make 594% by holding on to it for 8 months? Again, this is just the thing. 8 months, your average win is 11%. I made 308% over 8 months, but I traded 72 times. So it's It's about what you want to put in there. Did I download the, let's see. I don't think so. No. Okay, we're going to go to Canva. So I think, again, asking me what you should do, kind of, it's almost counterintuitive to ask me what you should do just because, let's take that out. Yeah, we'll take that red out. I download this. Wah, wah. Then we're going to go here. Oh, do I have new comments? Die poor douchebag. Somebody just put a nasty comment on. Spotfiy deleted it. I don't need that. No negativity. Yeah, Landman's good. I'm on season 2. I think I'm through the opening episode, or I think it was the opening episode where the daughter goes to TCU and does the interview. So good. I mean, so good. By the way, shit's turning around. AXTI up 10%. Let's see. What's moving the Dow? Merck, Verizon. I mean, look at the 1 week performance. Cisco's up 4%, Merck up 4%, Chevron up 3%, Sherwin-Williams. I mean, there's stuff moving in this market. 1 month, Chevron's up 12%. I mean, that would be expected, but I wouldn't have guessed Verizon and Cisco would be positive over 1 month. I mean, that's the Dow 30. LiDAR plays, they're all getting killed. Mag 7, Apple's up a little bit, Netflix up a little bit. The March watch list is still positive for the month, but not great. Let's see. We got IPI is up 19% still at 43. This one pulled back, and we're seeing it. And Austin got me in at $36, so you're still positive on that one. Let's see. WDC is still up 11%. SanDisk is still up 11%. This one's back up 4% today. Micron's up 1% today. GLW. So the watch list isn't bad. I will tell you the top 2026 stocks. That's one. I'm going to be buying the dip on like 2 or 3 of those. So. Yeah, light's one. I want to add more of light. I mean, that's a nice pullback. But again, I think, yeah, this one's done. Okay, new episode. Do. Just had a guy tell me on Spotfiy that all I'm doing is selling services. Well, die poor douchebag. And he wrote peace out. The comment section isn't a review section, by the way. It's for people who want to ask questions. Don't be a douchebag. And we're going to take that out. So, Roberts, I will usually use Seeking Alpha first because that's fundamental data. And then I'll look, like, I'll give you Apple. For years, Apple been a hold in the quant forever. Yeah, over 3 years, it was never a buy. But was I buying back here at $150? You damn well know in 2023 I was buying at $123. Was I buying here? I didn't buy it in December 2024. I sold a bunch at $250. But was I buying here last year? Yeah, under $200. I was buying it back. So I usually use Seeking Alpha first, and then I'll go and use Trendspider stuff. But if it's a trade, I'm only using Trendspider, by the way. So it's not about how do you evaluate the 4-hour algorithm. Like, Apple. 4-hour algorithm makes you 12% over the last 2 years. Or I'm sorry, that's the 65-minute. 4-hour algorithm makes you 13% versus 45% buy and hold. I'll use the 250 right there with confirmation, and I'll say, you know what? That's a good entry. And I don't care, my outlook is not, a week or so. So if it dips down, I'm not worried about it. So it's about identifying what the trade is prior to you actually getting in. I mean, that's the key is, how do I evaluate the 4-hour algorithm? If it's a trade, I'm using the 4-hour algorithm. If it's an investment, I'm going to just do that. Carhartts are cool. I don't know what Carhartts are. Okay, let me get episode summary. Okay, I am going to get out of here. I started early, I think. Upload landman. Oh, God, it's slow as hell today. APP I've got as my... And I made full mention. I wanted to get back into APP. I just never did. I have it as my holding percentage. So go into Alpha Picks and you look at the holding percentage. I'll tell you what percentage of my portfolio full disclosure, my Alpha Picks portfolio is almost dead. It was down, mid 5 figures yesterday, which was hard. It's up 2% today. But App Lovin', I have a very low 5-figure amount. It is currently 4%. No, that's the wrong portfolio. Hold on. That was... Sorry, that was AAOI, which I'm actually down 15% on, believe it or not. Okay, there's the Alpha Picks portfolio that I was looking for. So AppLovin, I have, yes, a low 5-figure position, and it is currently 1.05% of the portfolio. I am up 143% on that position. So when I took some of the losses that I did, so you know, Danielle, I tax loss harvested. I mean, simple as that. This is in my brokerage. And I said, you know what? I'm going to assign it to the most recent purchase that I did in February, but I kept the long-term stuff in there. Because the long-term stuff, let's see, position details. And Unity Software, by the way, just announced a huge thing. My purchases are from October and November 2024. So if I take gains, those are long-term capital gains. But until it's out of the portfolio, as far as the long-term portfolio, I just, again, I'm kind of keeping it in there until it pulls out. Promotional content. Okay, now we're going to upload to YouTube. Wow. Why is everything so slow? Do I have, maybe it's because I'm using it on here. I'm going to get going because it does look like for some reason I'm on the Eero network. Something's going on. Some fiber. Yeah, everything's slow. I mean, I have gig internet, so let's see what the upload's like. Okay, I'm gonna head out. You can hear the dog crying. You guys have a great weekend. Enjoy.